What is going on, everybody? So in this video, I'm going to be going over exactly how I've made over $250,000 at 19 years old by taking advantage of grown men. Okay, weird sort of title slash hook, but hopefully it gets the views. By the way, if you hear music in the back, it's because my dopamine receptors are absolutely fried, and I really don't want to record this video right now. So I've got that in the background. Apologies in advance if you don't like my music taste. However, getting into the video, so obviously anybody can say they made any amount of money at any age. I'm not going to pull up my ID to show you how old I am. I think it's kind of believable that I'm 19. However, just to show you what I have basically been able to accomplish, apart from, just saying that I made a certain amount of money. This year alone, I bought my dream car, which was a 2025 C8 Corvette. I also traveled 3 different countries. Obviously, anybody can travel countries, but it's good. I have the freedom, and I'm honestly, I just see other people flexing stuff like this, so that's why I'm gonna do it too. And then I did move into a high rise downtown Toronto. Now, full transparency, it's an Airbnb. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay here, but it does cost 8 grand a month, which is kind of a lot. So anyways, um, moving on, basically to explain exactly how this work. So basically, this is just an outsourced contracting business. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I call it a bunch of different names just to get like views and attention. But at the end of the day, it's just an outsourced contracting business, and I could call it drop servicing and get a bunch of 15-year-old kids to buy my course, and sell it for like 5 grand with a guarantee that they'll make $1 million. And then in the terms and conditions, put like they have to do like 20 million hours of work or else the conditions don't apply. I could do that. However, I am not gonna be like that. I prefer to be at least somewhat transparent with you guys. That's what I aim to be. So it is genuinely just an outsourced contracting business. Um, and then the good things about this outsourced contracting business is, number one, it's very, very automatable, especially once you get the ball rolling. This is something that you can very easily outsource all your work to and essentially remove yourself completely from the business. It is 100% remote, so you're not actually doing anything in person. You are basically printing money from your laptop. I know it sounds good and everybody else says that, but this is a business model where you do not have to be out and about. And then the good thing is, again, there is a lot of scale to this. You can hit $100,000 months with this. You can probably hit $1 million months with this. I personally know people who do over $100,000 a month in pure profit doing this. Me personally, I don't really get anywhere near this. My best month was around 30 grand in profit, but 100,000 a month in revenue, very, very, very common month for me. And yeah, these are the perks of the business. However, I will warn you, it is not a get rich quick scheme. Okay, it is not easy, and you will need to put in work. Okay. Um, there is some sort of connotation with these online businesses that you're going to get rich super quick and that they're super easy. You just have to like make a Shopify store and throw up a couple products. This isn't like that at all. I mean, like I said, I could frame it that way. I could say it is like that. Again, like this is what people will do with drop shipping. They'll make it seem like this easy thing. You just gotta like put up a store and sell a product. I mean, drop shipping works. You can. I know people making a ton of money drop shipping, but what they don't show you is that it takes a lot of work and you do need to be committed. Okay. So, how does this business model work step by step? So, the first step of the business model is getting a lead. Okay. And we do this, or at least the way I do this is through GMB. So I developed a very, very unique model for, again, this business. There are other people who do so-called drop servicing, which technically that is what I'm doing with this business. However, I adopted a very, very unique mechanism to get hundreds of leads for free with GMB. So I will get into that as well. But essentially, first step, you are basically getting a service based business customers or leads. Leads are people who are interested in becoming a customer, somebody who is interested in getting a specific service done. And you're basically getting somebody interested to call you for a specific service. Okay, so that is the first step, getting those people who are interested. Then your next goal is to close the job. Okay, so you're gonna take this person who calls you that is interested in your service, and you're gonna turn them into a to be customer. You're gonna basically close the job, which means this person is now going to be receiving your service. Okay, then after that, you are going to be outsourcing the labor. So of course, you don't want to be doing anything yourself. Horrible song. It's on Spotify suggested right now. So let's see what it cooks up while we're making this. Anyways, yeah, you're gonna find somebody who's gonna do basically all of the dirty work for you. So again, for example, say you're doing this with a service like lawn care or landscaping, you're basically going to find the person who's going to be cutting the grass or doing whatever the fuck landscapers do, and you're going to be basically just selling them the access to this client. Okay, and then after that, the way this works is typically the worker slash contractor is going to get close to 50% of the profit, and you're going to keep the other 50%. So I put a range here, 40 to 60%. On average, you'll get around 50% of the profit from the job. And that is essentially the whole model. That's basically how it works. So now I'm going to get into how to actually follow this and do this model for yourself. So the first thing is choosing a niche. So what kind of clients are you going to be attracting? What service are you going to be getting people interested in and essentially finding work for? So the first niche, and again, this could really be any service-based business that people are searching for on a daily basis. So these are just some really good examples: cleaning, car detailing, lawn care, plumbing, pest control, electrical work. So basically, every single day, there's a certain amount of people who are searching for any one of these services because they need it done, whether again it's around their house, they need some cleaning done, or whether it's their car that needs to be cleaned, or maybe their toilet's clogged and they need somebody to come out and do some sort of plumbing, or maybe they have a bunch of bugs in their like kitchen or whatever the fuck. Anyways, they need a pest control person. So these are essentially the niches and the different categories that you can get into. Again, this is not as important as the actual execution of getting customers, but you do want to choose a niche that one you enjoy, so, or at least, I mean, nobody's really fucking passionate about plumbing or pest control. However, for me personally, like cleaning doesn't really appeal to me. It's like bitch shit. It's like a fucking maid and stuff. I don't know if that was like really just rude to say, to be completely honest, but I'm not gonna edit it out. Anyways, cleaning doesn't really appeal to me, but something like plumbing, where it's like I don't know, that shit just seems like more fun to me. So that's what I do for the most part, plumbing. But again, any of these work as long as there's people searching for it, it works. Okay. So essentially, you're going to choose your niche, and how you are going to get these leads is, like I said, through GMB. So a GMB profile is one of these businesses that is listed on Google, as you could see. So when somebody is searching for a specific service, they're going to search something up like plumber near me or plumber in their city. So I'm in Toronto, so I'd be searching up plumber in Toronto or plumber Toronto. And a bunch of search results are going to come up of people who offer the service, right? So with GMB, these listings that people are actually putting up are completely 100% free. You don't have to pay to put these up, and anybody can actually put these up. And so essentially what these companies have done is a variety of different things and a variety of different factors that have gotten their page to the top of the search results, so that when I search up for plumbing near me, Dr. Plumbing Inc. is going to pop up first. And of course, whoever is first, you're going to be most likely to call and have come over to visit you and do your plumbing work, and probably get scammed because plumbers love to scam people. Anyways, the way this works and how you can get this page up is, number one, verifying the page. So each page goes through a verification process because Google does not want anybody just spamming businesses on Google and just throwing up random stuff. So this can be done through an instant approval if you put in the right information and you do this on the proper account. You can actually get instant approved from Google, where they do let you bypass the verification and you won't have to verify your business at all. So I have like a school community, whatever you want to call it. It's basically just like a sort of like community where I teach this sort of stuff. So the verification, especially for the instant approval and codes, I teach all that there. I'll probably just throw it in the description so you guys can check it out if you want to. But essentially, you're gonna need to verify these pages so that they can be shown on Google to customers. Next, you want to make sure that this page ranks high, because if you are the last business that shows, nobody's scrolling that far and nobody's going to call you, and you're going to make $0 off your page and waste your time. So, what you want to do in order to rank this page, again, there's a variety of factors that influence why your page either shows up at the top search results or at the very bottom. But essentially, the most important and the core of this is going to be keywords, right? So your title, your name, the keywords in your name is going to be the most important. As I said, people, when they are searching for a plumber, obviously in your name, you want it to say plumber or plumbing, right? So all of these have one thing in common. They are listing exactly what the service is: plumbing, okay? Plumbing, 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 okay? So that's the first thing, having a keyword optimized name depending on what people in your city are searching for. Now, this could be done a lot better. There are a lot of tweaks that I would do to these profiles and their names, but I'm not going to get into that right now. I do have separate videos going over that. If you want to just check out my other videos on my channel, I have a bunch of stuff going over that. But essentially, the name, and then as well as all of the data inside of the profile. Excuse me. So as you can see here, there's a bunch of other information that is listed. And if I was to click on one of these profiles, there's going to be a list of different information about this business. And essentially, I just realized I've been saying essentially way too much in this video. I'm going to try and tone it down. But anyways, you want to fill out all of the data on your page with different keywords relevant to people who are in your city searching for said service. I know I'm making this sound really complicated, especially if you're a beginner. If you kind of understand how the model works already, then it probably doesn't sound complicated at all. But if you've never heard of anything related to GMB or SEO, this might be a little bit much to take in. So I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible. Really, not to scare you off, it's really not that hard. Pretty much everything can be learned in like the span of an hour or two. It's really not that hard. I don't want to scare you off. But apart from these keywords and filling out this whole GMB section, reviews, of course. Obviously, if you have 0 reviews or if you have a bunch of shit reviews, Google doesn't want to push your page, doesn't want to show anybody because it wants its customers to have a good experience. And so reviews are another important factor in ranking your page, right? But once you do have your page up and ranked and optimized, Jesus Christ, I hope you can hear that. That is my cat. Then you're going to get a lot of calls. So on a weekly basis, as you can see, I get around 700 to 800 calls. These are not all people who are looking to get that said service done. These are not all leads, but a majority of, I would say about half of these are leads. And this spreads between all of my different businesses. So I have businesses in multiple different niches. I have car detailing, I have plumbing, I have cleaning. I have things spread across the board. But again, I get around 700 to 800 calls every single week, and I personally don't answer these calls. So I have hired a virtual assistant, at least for the bulk majority, to answer all of these calls, because I don't want to deal with 800 calls a week. $4 an hour would sounds like a better deal than fucking being on my phone all day answering calls and not being able to do anything. So that is essentially the next step. You're going to get these calls, and what you want to do is you want to book these leads and basically close them in for the job. So in order to do this and in order to convert these leads into customers, number one important thing, you want to make sure you are answering your phone professionally. So for example, let's say you have a car detailing GMB listed. Somebody calls you, you want to answer the phone, something like this. Let's say your detailing GMB is called Shine Car Detailing. Okay. Hey, this is Eric speaking from Shiny Shine Car Detailing. How can I help you? Okay, this already puts you ahead of like 80% of your competition because if you call a bunch of these businesses, they're fucking stupid. You'll call them and they'll say, hello. They sound like idiots, right? No one wants to interact with a business that doesn't even sound professional. So just by saying, hey, this is blank from company name, you just shot across 80% of your competition. Quick tip, don't answer the phone like a dumbass. Answer professionally, be super nice to your customers. Hey, this is Eric speaking. Yeah, I'd love to help you out with this. Sure. So let me get some more details on that. Oh wow, that sounds like a pretty big issue. You know, talk to your customers like they're people. Be nice to them. Again, it doesn't take much work at all or any knowledge. Just literally just be a normal human and don't answer the phone like a dumbass. So that's the first thing. Then again, depending on what niche you're in, you are either going to quote these customers over the phone. So something like car detailing, personally, I think it's your best interest to just quote the customer over the phone, tell them, hey, it's going to be 250 bucks to do this service. We'll come and this is going to be what's included, and then either yes or a no from them, right? If you're doing all of this properly, your conversion rate for the most part should be close to 40 or 50%. So if you're getting 5 calls a day for detailing, which again, you could pull that off with like 2 GMB profiles, you get 5 calls a day from detailing. You close worst case scenario two of them, 2 out of 5. Like if you're just shit at life, you'll close 2 out of 5. Um, yeah, and the job cost is 250 bucks per job. You make 125 at 50% margin, so you're making 250 bucks a day in profit for answering a couple calls. Again, you can always hire someone else to answer your calls, but if you do think about it, right, you're getting 5 calls. It'll take you maybe 3 minutes per call, 15 minutes of work to make 250 bucks. Like, are you serious? Sounds like a good deal to me. I would take that any day. And that's like what, 7.5 grand a month. That's, a full-time salary in 15 minutes. So essentially, again, getting off topic here, but people are going to call you and you are going to either quote them a specific price or for more high ticket, so to say, niches where people are expected to pay a lot more. Something, let's say, like a roofing company, your average job is going to be at least a couple $1,000s. So those kind of things, you are going to actually have a professional go over to their house and give them a quote, and there's 2 reasons for that. Number one, it just makes it a lot easier to sell when the person is physically right in front of them. They can show them, hey, this needs to be fixed. This is fucked up. This is fucked up, even if it's not fucked up. Anyways, the guy's going to go and he's going to do all the selling. All you need to do is tell the customer, we'll have somebody out for inspection. Okay. And by the way, your contractor will happily go and do these inspections because they're going to make a lot of money from them. Anyways, after that is done, you're going to book the customer in. So you're going to send all of the details to your contractor, right? You're going to get the customer's phone number, you're going to get their address, you're going to get their name, and that's about all. There's like you can grab some other extra info. You can get their email if you want to add them to like a CRM or something, but I never really worry about that. I just make sure to get the customer's name, just so when you call them or text them, it's not awkward. You just know how to say, like, hey, John, this is Eric from blah, blah, blah. Get their name, get their phone number, get their address, and send that detail over to your contractor slash technician slash worker, whatever you want to call it. And then you just want to add it to your calendar. Again, like you can send the customer a confirmation text and whatnot, but that's just like not important details. Okay, so now you have a customer who called, you have a customer who is now booked in for a job. Oopsie, I didn't mean to move that. Now, obviously, you need to actually have somebody to fulfill these jobs. So going back to, sending the details to your contractor, obviously you need a contractor first. So how are we going to find a contractor? The best ways to find a contractor are marketplace platforms. So again, Facebook Marketplace, Nextdoor is a really good one. Craigslist, I don't even think anyone uses that in Canada where I am, but I know it's very popular in the States. So Craigslist. And then on Google itself, if you actually go to the second page, you'll see some businesses that don't have a lot of reviews or that are like, inactive, or just like business owners that you can tell don't really get too many of their own customers and they'd be happy to take on extra work. Again, like I said, usually this is going to be a smaller business with less reviews, and you can actually just hit them up exactly like I did with this guy on Facebook Marketplace. for plumbing, you're going to message them something along the lines of, hey, I have a local plumbing company and I get around 5 to 10 calls a day. I'm not able to take them all. I was just looking for someone who might be able to take on a few extra jobs a day. So I'm just smiling because my cat is literally shoving his face into my computer. But, anyways, you're gonna message them something along these lines, and when they show interest, you're gonna grab their phone number or give them your phone number, and you're gonna call them. You're gonna basically explain the model, and you're gonna work out a percentage split between the two of you. Again, you want to aim for around 50-50 for more of the high ticket services like plumbing, roofing, electrical work, whether it's like gas work, HVAC, whatever it is. You're gonna typically be giving your technicians the upper edge, so you're gonna give them around 60%, and you're gonna take home 40. But something like cleaning and car detailing, I always went 50-50. And cleaning, I would actually make more than 50% per job just by charging or just by hiring hourly cleaners. Okay. So that is basically how you're going to go ahead and find somebody to fulfill the labor for you. And then how it works, again, like I said, the contractor is going to do the job. He's going to get paid and he's going to send you your cut, which is going to be 40 to 50% most cases. Or you're going to actually give, and again, this is something that you want to build up to as you sort of gain trust with your contractor and build a relationship, right? The customer is going to actually pay you, or you're going to give the contractor your payment details. He's going to collect the payment, which is, again, ideal for you. He's going to collect the payment because you don't even have to do anything. And then you're going to send the contractor his portion. This just makes it so that you're more in control of the money and the situation. And then if anything goes wrong, you're just in control, right? And then from there, how do we scale this? Because, well, one GMB is great, but what's even better, a lot of GMBs, right? So again, you're going to verify multiple GMBs, whether this is going to be in a new city. So as you could see, this is the same brand over here, Plumber Done Right, of Vaughan, of Mississauga, of Etobicoke, and these are all just suburbs of Toronto where I live. Again, verifying these in different cities under the same name is going to be a little bit of a tricky process. That's something I teach in like a one-on-one sort of thing. So if you do have questions about that, or if you just like want help figuring this sort of thing out, I will leave a link down in the description where you can just like book a call with me. We can talk about it and then figure that out for you and kind of build a game plan for you. But essentially, the way you're going to scale is by expanding your business into a new city. The other way is going to be by, sorry, I'm getting a call. I was just a little bit concerned because it's like 1 in the morning. I don't know why someone's calling me, but anyways, it was nothing. So again, like I was saying, you're either gonna expand into a new city, you're gonna choose a whole new niche in general. So as you can see here, this is a completely new niche expanded into other cities, and then you're also going to be making optimizations to your existing pages. So like I was saying, this is a car detailing page that I own. You're going to be changing the descriptions. You're going to be putting different things like products, services. You're going to be replying to your reviews. You're going to be adding keywords in different areas. Basically, improve your GMB's rankings and show up higher in your city. And that way, each GMB can get the most amount of leads as possible. Okay, so what can you expect if you want to pull this off and you want to make this work? A lot of people give very, very brief sort of like expectations and stuff. They'll tell you, oh, you can make, either they're just gonna fucking cap out of their ass and say that you can make fucking $100,000 in the next 2 months, or they're just gonna hold off the amount of effort that actually needs to be put in. So I'm gonna give you some very realistic expectations and timelines that you can expect if you want to do this yourself and make a similar amount of money that I do and some other people do. So expectations, you're gonna want to be at least dedicating 2 to 3 hours a day into something like this. If you plan on starting a business and you don't want to put in at least 2 hours of work a day, like, come on, you're not going to go anywhere, right? And you should be aware that if you want to start any business ever, 2 to 3 hours a day is going to be your bare minimum. It does take work. Like I said, it's not a get rich quick scheme. You are going to need to do the work. If you do, however, dedicate around 2 to 3 hours per day. Again, this can average out. One day you could be super locked in, work for 5 hours straight, and maybe on the weekend you want to go out and fucking, I don't know, do whatever people do that go out. I don't know, just fucking working all day. I'm recording this dumbass video at 1 a.m. Anyways, yep. As long as you put in a couple hours of work a day, you listen to people who know what they're doing. So obviously that's me. I'm gonna say that is me because well, who the fuck else am I gonna be referencing? There's other people who know what they're doing, but obviously I'm the best. And yeah, I post YouTube videos on it. I have a school community. It's dirt cheap, like literally dirt cheap for what you get in there. And I also offer like a one-on-one coaching. Again, we can discuss that if you are interested in something like that. That is a little bit more expensive. I'm not gonna hold that back. I mean, it's not crazy. Honestly, I think it's very reasonable. But anyways, that aside, again, by the way, just to give you sort of expectations, I'm not charging $5,000 for a fucking course. Anyways, and then you want to execute for at least 2 to 3 months. You want to be consistently, relentlessly committed. Okay, no quitting for at least 2 to 3 months. Okay, 2 to 3 hours a day, 2 to 3 months. What you can expect to get from that is, well, I'll show you some testimonials. So these are people either from my school community or from my one-on-one coaching. So number one, this guy, he almost gave up. Apparently he made a GMB and didn't really care about it, but somehow got lucky, made 2K, pretty easy, right? So that's pretty nice. Again, there's lucky people. I'm not gonna deny that this guy probably just got lucky, but again, how are you gonna get lucky without even trying? At least he took the first step and put the GMB up. Okay. Anyways, that is one over here. This Gerald, he is in my one-on-one coaching as well as the school community. So in 3 weeks, he was able to basically put up a whole franchise of businesses. He closed 5,200 in his third week, which was over $2,000 in profit. Over here, Patty, he is making $300 a day, doing detailing in California, and he's also selling this info that I basically taught him to other people, and making money through an agency now too, which is honestly very neat. So I'm very happy and proud of Patty here. Again, he was probably in my school for like a month at this point, so really good stuff from Patty. Next, we have Aria. So again, these are all in a landing page that I'll link in the description if you want to actually listen to all of these testimonials. But this is my boy Aria. He made 85K in the last 3 months with his local service arbitrage business. That's another name I call it again. With doing this business model, 85K in the last 3 months. Art is a local plumber down in Michigan. Well, he's not. He owns a plumbing business in Michigan. So I've helped him a ton, and he recorded a very, very nice testimonial for me. Thank you, Art. You are the GOAT. And then again, circling back to Patty, this is just more of like a, I guess, video that he made for me about how he gets 20 calls a day and makes over $12,000 every single month in profit running a remote detailing business in the United States while he actually lives in Canada. So that is pretty much all of the training that I have set up for this video over here. So yeah, if you guys have any questions for me, I will pretty much link however you can get in contact with me easiest down in the description. I'm going to add a place where you can book a call with me if you're interested in doing something like that. And then, I mean, honestly, guys, this is a gold mine. I don't want to sound like a fucking cringy course seller, but I'm telling you, nobody else talks about this. This is a legit business model. Real plumbing companies and real, like, there's 40-year-old guys doing this. I know I frame it sort of like a, I mean, if you see my Instagram videos, I fucking make this shit sound stupid. But this is a real business. This is a really good opportunity to make a lot of money and actually start a proper real company. Like, I have been offered for my plumbing GMBs. I'm not going to say the exact number, but I've been offered over 6 figures for plumbing GMBs that took me maybe a month to make, right? So it's crazy. I know I'm going to make my money back on that. way more than six figures. I'm hoping to hit seven next year. However, I'm telling you guys, this is a really, really good opportunity. There isn't a lot of people talking about it because it is more of a niche business model. I'm not going to sit here and try to appeal to everybody and try to sell a fucking $5,000 dumbass course. Again, this is not drop shipping. This is not day trading. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is just a legit, proper business that you can run and actually make money from and scale. And that is the hard truth. And that is why not a lot of people want to do it. And that is why I am pretty much the only person who goes out and talks about it. But that is pretty much all for the video. I hope you guys were able to learn something. Again, questions and whatever, I try to get back to everybody. So just check the description. I'll put whatever easiest things to get to me is. Again, book a call if you were interested in setting this up yourself and actually starting a proper company. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all. Check out my other videos. Leave me a like and fucking subscribe. I don't know. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.